Now the ITV News in London with Charlene White.
Good evening, you're watching ITV News London. Here's what's coming up on tonight's programme. Jail for 3 teenagers who posed for selfies after killing a homeless man. We're in Switzerland as the Hertfordshire teenagers confirmed as one of the victims killed in the ski resort fire. We investigate the 5 months wait for driving tests in the capital, plus...
Let's get one thing clear. I'm running things and you answer to me.
Feel better? If you don't. Jing Lucy, star of Red Eye, will be popping in for a chat about the latest series of the hit show. Good evening. It was an horrific attack that led to the death of a homeless man. Anthony Marks was targeted by a group of teenage drug runners near King's Cross in August 2024. His injuries so severe, he died 5 weeks later. Selfies and a chilling video later emerged, showing the teens laughing and singing after they carried out the assault. Well, today, there was a sentence for the killing, which police say exposed the ruthless brutality of County Lines gangs. Kath O'Patter's report contains details of the attack, which you may find upsetting.
They were unlikely suspects. Teenagers, drug runners, killers. And the murder victim, a homeless and vulnerable drug addict, Anthony Marks. It all happened in the area of King's Cross. On the surface, it's a popular commuter station, but also served as a drugs line for the trio's gang. Mia, Hamaya and JD had confronted Anthony about a fellow drug dealer who'd been previously attacked. What started as a minor altercation soon escalated. Witnesses say they saw Anthony being chased down over in that direction. He slipped and fell. Once he did, JD began kicking him multiple times, even smashing a glass bottle over his head. As for the 2 girls, they stood back, laughing and shouting words of encouragement. A short while after the attack, JD and Amaya filmed themselves singing and smiling. All 3 sent a number of messages about what they'd done, including this one, where they joked about being caught and sent to prison. A joke which eventually led to their arrest. Mia and Amaya found guilty of manslaughter. JD guilty of murder. Just before they were sentenced, the defendants were talking and laughing amongst themselves, looking up at the public gallery and smiling at their friends. Well, those smiles dropped when the judge handed down his sentence. For Mia Campus, 42 months, and Maya Bradshaw McCoy, 47 months, and JD Bingham, 16 years for murder. The judge told Mia and Amaya that their sentence could have been much longer. He told them to turn their lives around and to not let him down.
Hopefully they get some form of rehabilitation inside, and also they don't come back to the same area, same networks, and create the same sort of behaviour, because that will end up in the same result.
They now have plenty of time to think about what they've done, and maybe time served will be a lesson learned. Kath O'Patter, ITV News.
A teenager who went to school in Hertfordshire has been confirmed as one of the victims killed in a fire at a Swiss ski resort. Charlotte Nidam lived in Bushey and until recently attended Emmanuel College, a private Jewish secondary school in the town. Amy Lewis has sent us this report from Switzerland.
What has been so tragic about this disaster is how young the victims were. Half of them were under 18, 2 of them were 14, and Charlotte Nadam was very representative of that. She was just 15. She was here in the town partying in the bar on New Year's Eve, seeing in the new year when the bar caught alight. Her family have said that they are absolutely devastated and her funeral will be held on Thursday. Well, Emmanuel College in Bushey in Hertfordshire, they've also released a statement saying that she was a much loved and respected pupil there during her time with them. Well, the fire started in the early hours and quickly spread. 40 people in total died. The investigation has now been launched. It is a criminal investigation looking into how this happened and the safety that was in place at the time. But all these young people out celebrating a new year, including Charlotte Nadam, who studied in Hertfordshire, a new year that they just never got to see.
A teenager's been charged with murder after a man was killed in Lewisham on New Year's Eve. John Temitope Onetofu died from a stab wound to the chest. A 17-year-old who can't be named due to his age will appear at Bromley Magistrates Youth Court on Monday. A Met Police constable is on trial accused of causing grievous bodily harm after a man fell from an outbuilding while being tasered. Today, the court heard how Leonard Sandiford is now confined to a wheelchair after the incident in Woodford Green. PC Liam Newman denies the charges. And London Eye is closed for the next 2 weeks for annual maintenance. The wheel needs safety inspections, servicing to the cabins and mechanical testing. The Kings led tribute to Holocaust survivor Eva Schloss, who's died at the age of 96. Eva, who settled in London after the war, co-founded the Anne Frank Trust and was a tireless campaigner against racism and intolerance. Her death marks the passing of one of the last living voices who witnessed the horrors of the Nazi death camps. Yasmin Bottleby has her story.
Eva Schloss devoted her life to challenging hatred, but for decades could barely utter a word about the horrors of what happened to her and millions more. A Jewish teenager in Austria, as anti-Semitism rose, her family fled to Amsterdam, where she lived on the same street as Anne Frank. Like Anne, Eva's family was betrayed by a Nazi sympathiser, and on her 15th birthday, Eva was taken to Auschwitz. She and her mother survived. Her father and brother did not.
If you go through such a horrific experience, it is with you your whole life. Till I started to speak about it, I had nightmares. I started to speak in 1986, after 40 years. Not even to my family did I talk. It was just too painful.
Years later, Eva's mother Elfriede married Anne Frank's father Otto. Now living in London, Eva honoured her stepsister's legacy by co-founding the Anne Frank Trust.
Amazingly, she would even go into prisons and she would talk to prisoners. You could hear a pin drop when she told them what happened to her when she was in prison and she was there to be killed. And many prisoners wrote to her afterwards and said how she had turned their lives around. The ripples she has left behind, you can't even begin to imagine.
Those ripples also moving celebrities, leaders, and even royalty, sometimes literally. This is King Charles dancing with Eva in 2022 at Hanukkah celebrations in North London. He has paid tribute, saying he feels privileged and proud to have known her. Eva was distressed at the rise in anti-Semitism and hatred in the world, but always held on to hope.
We are all human beings, and once we have accepted that, there will be a much better, more peaceful, wonderful world. It nearly looks impossible, but we have to never give up.
Eva Schloss, the woman who wanted to turn the lens on the world and make it see, who saw the worst of humanity, but still believed in bringing out the best of it, right to the end.
Holocaust survivor Eva Schloss, who's died at the age of 96. Now, for those who medically qualify for weight loss jabs, it can be life-changing. But often the medication ends up in the hands of someone that doesn't actually need it. And ITV News investigations found just how easy it is to get your hands on it, even if you're a healthy weight. Our reporter, Cree Summer-Holton, has been looking into this for us and joins us now. And Cree, you've tested the system for yourself. So tell us how exactly this works.
So, Charlene, I'm going to be really careful about the words that I use to describe this, because we don't want the viewers at home getting an idea and going ahead and doing this, because, as you said, these drugs are made for people of a certain BMI. But what I will say is that I use photo editing software to make myself look bigger, to bypass pharmacies' consultation process. Now, 3 pharmacies accepted me, which is really interesting because last year the General Pharmaceutical Council made things a little bit stricter, and they basically said that these pharmacies need to be verifying the information that people are putting in so that people like me can't get their hands on it. But having said that, 3 pharmacies made it impossible, and that's because they kind of had extra checks in place, like video calls. One asked for a picture of me next to a scale, so that kind of made it impossible. But it wasn't just me that's found it easy. I've spoken to many people who have been through the same process.
And something is so accessible and so easy to get and so widely spoken about on huge platforms, of course people are going to be interested. They're so accessible, it's almost just becomes the norm when you see like these celebrities like doing it and you're like, oh, okay, well if they're fine and they're doing it, okay, I'll just do it as well.
But Craig, there's some real serious concerns that weight loss jabs are actually fueling the rise in eating disorders.
Yeah, I feel like people need to be educated about this because I feel like a lot of people just don't know. I went to Priory, which is an eating disorder, they have an eating disorder clinic there. And what they told me was quite shocking. Back in 2024, they hadn't seen anybody come in with eating disorders that are using these medications. And now they've seen a significant rise. And kind of off the back of that, I thought I'd speak to Nicola McLean, who's a reality TV star who's spoken very openly about having eating disorders and using this drug. And she told me that it's really affected her recovery.
We had got to a place where things were much more body positive. You know, when you were looking on Instagram, it felt a bit more real. And then all of a sudden the shift so quickly into just seeing super skinny people. It took me back to the 90s. I was thinking, I need to do the same. I need to shrink again. It really is so alarming.
So off the back of our investigation, the General Pharmaceutical Council said that they've investigated the 3 pharmacies that gave me the jabs. And they said that 2 of them weren't meeting their standards and they're taking action against them. And then the other one is still being investigated.
OK, Craig, thanks very much. Well, if you've been affected by any of the issues that we have been discussing with Cree, you can find advice and support at itv.com/London. And actually, you can see more of her report on Evening News. So let's find out a little bit more with Mary.
Coming up on the programme, the Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, who was seized by the US, is appearing in court accused of narco-terrorism charges. An ITV News investigation reveals how people with a healthy BMI are using AI and photo editing tools to fake their weight and get access to weight loss jabs. And in what should be the first day back, hundreds of schools have had to close as snow brings widespread disruption across the country. And do join me for those stories and more at 6:30.
Well, still to come on this programme. Will a new year bring a way to clear the driving test backlog? We find out how bad the wait is in the capital. And
Hannah, I need you. Yes, Mum.
That's the one thing clear.
The star of twisty thriller Red Eye will be right here in the studio. But first, 1 in 3 of us is going teetotal this month, apparently. Those taking part in Dry January are being urged to keep supporting their local pub anyway, despite the challenge. But it's easier now than it was, really, because there are so many non-alcoholic options available now. So we sent Helen Keenan to see how Londoners are learning to sober socialise.
A month of putting down those pints. Dry January is underway. For some.
If I want to go off the drink, I'll go off the drink. But I won't go off it just because it's called Dry January. Just because it's called something.
Dry January, a lot of people do it, a lot of people don't. It's like joining the gym, isn't it? You do it for a week and then you don't do it no more.
Even more, and we see so much more diversity there as well, and that's something that pubs are, set up to sort of take advantage of, really.
This brewery in Bermondsey specialises in low alcohol beer and says pubs who are adapting are thriving.
Do you think taking on more low or no alcohol is a part of the solution to helping them survive?
I definitely think it's going to provide pubs with an opportunity for more sales. Lunchtimes is becoming more and more important for people. Midweek, it can't just be about drinking and heavy drinking sessions on a Friday and Saturday, because for so many now, it's just not the lifestyle that they aspire to lead.
17 million people are choosing to abstain from alcohol this month, to either save money or for the health benefits. And more young people are choosing not to drink.
The whole culture behind the Dry January Challenge is about still getting out and having fun and doing those things that you did before, just without the alcohol. So we know a lot of pubs, for example, 9 out of 10 pubs offer at least one alcohol-free alternative, and those hospitality sectors that are adapting to the change in people's drinking behaviour and providing these options are much likely to be successful.
Despite record numbers taking part in Dry January this year, it seems no one wants last orders to be called on London's pubs. Helen Keenan, ITV News.
Proposals have been approved for a new outdoor natural water swimming pool in Canary Wharf. The plans include a 50-metre, 6-lane floating swimming pool in Eden Dock, which is designed to act as a stepping stone between pool and open water swimming. Construction is set to begin early this year, with an opening date expected in the summer. And adolescent star Erin Doherty has won a Critics' Choice Award for her role in the Netflix drama, which won 4 awards in total. The actress, who's from Crawley, was named Best Supporting Actress in a Limited Series, with her co-stars Owen Cooper and Stephen Graham taking home Best Supporting Actor and Best Actor, respectively. Next tonight, if it's your New Year's resolution to pass your driving test, it may not be straightforward. The current wait is 5 months, a huge difference from a decade ago when it was just 8 weeks in London. It's mainly due to the backlog post-COVID, but it's not expected to clear anytime soon. Rags Martel has been taking a look.
Oh, lady.
London roads aren't easy for learners. Take your time. But the hardest part of passing isn't the driving, it's booking the test.
How bad is the situation at the moment?
It is very bad, and it has been bad for a very long time. So ever since COVID, it's been this way, and it's only really getting worse. Now there's a bit more traffic coming in here. We're at 30.
Amen Sangera is an instructor for Clearview Driving in West London, with millions of followers on social media.
Speed up. Check the left mirror.
And like most learner drivers, her pupils have a wait of up to 6 months for a test.
Well, it means that I'm not able to get a licence, and let's say I do fail, I have to wait again and book another test. That could take another 6 months, and then I won't have a car until winter. So, it'll be a really, really long... I'll be like, that's a whole year gone that I'm waiting for a driver's licence.
You can only book driving tests up to 6 months ahead, and in London those slots are taken up almost instantly. But the system is also being exploited by bots.
Good morning.
Online bookings should cost £62, but they're often resold for much more.
There have been so many people reaching out to me, telling me, oh yeah, I'm selling this test, I'm selling that test. You know for how much? £200 and more, plus, just for a driving test that I don't even know if I'm going to pass. So I just think it's ridiculous.
Some of my students have actually paid about £350 to get hold of a driving test, and even that isn't as if it's next week or in a month's time. They're still waiting 3.5, 4 months away for that test because they just can't get hold of a driving test.
What needs to happen to make it better?
We definitely need more examiners, and we need to get rid of the bot system completely. Brake clutch.
The Driver and Vehicle Standards Agency, DVSA, told us it's taking decisive action to cut waiting times and banning third-party bookings. Military examiners are also going to be used, but even the agency admits there's still a long road ahead to speed up the process. Rags Martel, ITV News, Chiswick, West London.
Now, our guest tonight is the lead actor in one of the smash hit thrillers of last year, Red Eye. Now, if you haven't seen it yet, why not? The conspiracy all unfolded on a flight to Beijing. Well, the show's back, and this time it's set on solid ground right here in the capital.
There's been a murder in the US Embassy. Hannah, I need you. Yes, Mom.
Let's get one thing clear. I'm running things, and you answer to me.
Feel better? If we don't find the killer soon, anyone could be next. Put the embassy on immediate lockdown.
The clock is literally ticking.
Someone is helping him. There's no way out of this.
Oh, it's very exciting, very exciting. Yes, the wonderful Jing Lucy has joined us in the studio. What's it like watching yourself in action as a leading lady?
I'm getting slightly more used to it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's still surreal. I was actually just in Waterloo today, coming through to London, and I saw the big.
They're on the big screens, aren't they?
And I was like, this is really surreal, and I wish I had someone with me. Oh, I'm so self-conscious. I try to take a photo.
Oh, take a picture, put it up on the socials, and everyone will be with you. No, honestly, because you enjoy all the sort of praise that you're getting, because season 1 was absolutely brilliant.
Thank you.
And as I said, that was based on a plane, but this time it's at the American Embassy. You obviously can't release too much information about the storyline, but can you give us like a little tiny little bit?
Yeah, so last season I was locked on a plane because it was in the sky and I couldn't get out. And this season I am trapped in the American Embassy with a lot of important people. And bad things happen to some people because nothing really good happens to people in Red Eye.
No,
that wouldn't be so fun.
No, it wouldn't be so fun. So did you actually film in the American Embassy?
No, we didn't. We filmed in a building in West Finchley, I believe. I think it was the old Speedo factory. That's why there's a swimming pool in one of the episodes. Unfortunately, they didn't fill it with water. We couldn't just, have a dip.
On your downtime, go for a little bit of a swim. That would be absolutely brilliant.
I know.
Oh, I didn't know about that in West Finchley. We'll have to send our Sally on a hidden London journey to find out all about it. Now, you've got a new sidekick in this one. You've got Martin Compston, who's of Line of Duty fame. Is it really weird to develop that sort of relationship and spark on screen with a completely different leading man? Because, of course, you had Richard Armitage last time, didn't you?
I did, yes. It was a very different experience this year. I'm such a big Line of Duty fan who isn't. So I had a bit of a fangirl kind of syndrome when I was working with Martin. I was like, be cool, be cool. I haven't watched every single episode twice. But also because this year our characters have history. Whereas last season with Richard's character, Nolan, because there's no history as an actor, you can kind of just be a bit lazy and sort of like, do it in real time because they're not meant to know each other. So I can just completely work off what Richard and I were doing in the moment. But with Martin, it was like, we've got to do so much homework. We've got to do all this prep. Like, what happened? What happened? Did you not pay for a dinner? Did I offend your mum?
Build like a whole backstory.
We had homework to do.
This. Yes. Is this as edge of your seat as series 1 was?
Yes, more. I don't know. It's hard to tell because I obviously know what happens, but as I was reading the script, I was like, what happens next? What happens next? It does keep you on your toes. I'd say there's probably more twists in this season. Because the world is slightly bigger. There's more moving parts.
And it's the American Embassy. A lot can happen in the American Embassy, quite frankly. Now, look, you've talked in lots of articles before about the importance of representation, for example, and talks about K-pop dramas that you absolutely love. How did you feel when this script came through your door and you realised they didn't want you as a sidekick, they wanted you as the leading lady? How did it feel?
It felt like I was reading a script, especially in the UK, that I've never read before. Because usually when there is an Asian character, as you say, it's a sidekick or it's like scientist number 27. But for her to be kind of driving this story, and also she was on a flight to China, but it wasn't, her heritage wasn't like front and centre, like is a story about immigration. It wasn't that. It was, she's just a normal person doing a normal job, and she happens to look like this. So that was like, I felt like...
It's great, and you're absolutely brilliant at it, and we absolutely love it. And we can't wait for season 3. We'll keep our fingers crossed. But thank you so much for coming in. Thank you. Right, there's definitely been a chill in the air today, but is snow going to come, and is the wintry weather going to continue? There's one lady in the know. Here's Philippa.
Come rain or shine, Octopus Energy sponsors ITV London weekday weather.
Hello there. It really has been a very cold start to the week out there. A little dusting in places first thing this morning. And it stays pretty cold but sunny as we head into tomorrow as well. However, if you like that sort of thing, make the most of it. From midweek onwards, becoming much more unsettled, but with it also we should see some recovery in the temperatures. Now this is how things are looking on the pressure chart. So yes, from midweek onwards, low pressure takes over, fronts come our way, and in particular we have our eye on this frontal system coming in as we head through Thursday and Friday. A lot of uncertainty about exactly where that will track, but we are likely to see some warnings coming into force. If they're not wintry, then they will certainly be windy. But that is still a little way off. And for now, things remain very quiet. Through this evening and tonight, staying dry, clear skies, so temperatures plummeting once again, widely down to -3, -4 Celsius, lower still out of the towns and cities, and that will lead to another widespread frost, some icy stretches, and perhaps some freezing fog patches to contend with by dawn as well. So if you're up and out early tomorrow, do take very good care. It could be quite tricky out and about first thing. But as the day wears on, the sunshine will slowly get to work, melting away much of any frost and fog and leaving us with another beautiful day, dry and sunny all round. Temperatures perhaps fractionally higher than today, but still way below what we'd expect to see at this time of year. Bitterly cold again, highs just 2 or 3 degrees Celsius. And overnight into Wednesday, we'll see a band of wet weather coming our way. Could be a rather messy mix of rain, sleet and snow.
Octopus Energy sponsors ITV London weekday weather.
Now, as we settle into a new year, we're leaving the programme by looking back. Throughout 2025, we took a close look at some of the more hidden parts of the capital, from Fitzrovia to Wapping. Sally's uncovered some hidden gems. She's discovered fascinating histories and secrets in places you may never have even known existed. Her Hidden London series has had us all learning more about where we live, and this year we'll be doing more of the same. Here's a flavour of what you'll get in 2026.
London is full of hidden history. All you have to do is look up, look down, look around and take a moment.
Whoa there. Hi, Jules.
Hi,
Lovely to meet you. Getting started before me.
YouTuber and esteemed dresser Jules took me to Fitzrovia and showed me one of London's true gems.
So this is the old Middlesex Hospital plot, which is now gone.
Yes.
That, however,
is the Fitzrovia Chapel. Take a look inside.
Wow. Wow. This is a gem.
I know.
It's got a gold ceiling.
You can just imagine, like, Rudyard Kipling lying in state over there after he died.
Oh, did he?
You know, he who wrote the Jungle Book, of course. I knew you knew that, you know.
Obviously.
Over in St Pancras, Ben Smithies showed me a tomb that inspired a London icon. But could I guess it?
Does that form remind you of anything?
No.
It doesn't. If it were painted bright red, glossed red, it's the phone box. It was the inspiration for our classic British red telephone boxes.
No, that was the inspiration for the red phone box.
Yes.
Over in Wapping, Lara Makelum took me to the gruesome execution dock, where in times gone by, people were hung.
So when people were here, were they surrounded by an audience? Would people have come and watched?
Absolutely, it was great fun. People would come for a day out, they'd bring their children, they'd be floating in boats just off the foreshore.
And war history is everywhere. Amber Talon shows me a hidden skyscraper in Russell Square with a fabulous Second World War legacy.
So it's taken over by the government propaganda machine, and so it's in this building that Keep Calm and Carry On is coined.
I love that fact.
Yeah.
That saying, from here.
Yep, it's from here.
And how about under London, in the Stafford Hotel wine cellars of St James, which host a secret dining room and mini museum, for this used to be an air raid shelter.
Jack, this is extraordinary.
It is, isn't it? It's an amazing space. You never know quite what's going on beneath your feet, I think, in London.
So from hidden ground to hidden graves to all the tales of the Thames, there's plenty to celebrate in this city, and celebrate we did.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers to London.
Well, that's it from us. The evening news is next with Mary, of course. But for now, from all of us here, enjoy your evening. Bye-bye.